Hi there, Kimberly McAlinden here for Knit 123. We're discussing woven techniques in knitting, and this is for the iPad cover. This is the intermediate iPad cover, and this is for issue 8. So I've already done one little block, and you can see that it's a mixture of two different yarns, and you actually can see the little woven stitches in here. So the first blocks that are going across are these two colors, and then we have this spicy, fabulous, beautiful, fantastic yarn to do for the next one. So I wanted to use that one for two reasons. The first reason is it is very thick. It is porous, so you know it's a ribbon. And my knitting needles, when I was doing this, I actually was at the beach and I only had these needles. Let me get you a light section so you can see. So a lot of times what would happen is my knitting needle would pierce the ribbon. So for this, I do suggest, even though you see me knitting with sharp knitting needles, I highly advise you to use your blunts. Use your blunt knitting needles because it will make using this ribbon yarn a lot easier. But aren't the colors all so pretty together? All right, let's get started. What we're going to do for the first stitch is we're going to knit one with our new yarn. So I'm going to just knit one. And then we're going to slip the next two stitches. So we slip two stitches. And here's the main part of what I want everyone to understand when doing this technique. So we're going to knit our next stitch. Now, the tendency would be to knit this like this. Just get it real nice and tight. But what happens is you won't be able it'll pull everything in and it won't look right. You won't get gauge. You'll just hate me and say she doesn't know how to write a pattern. So truly, here's what I want you to do. When you are slipping more than one stitch, here we have our little tail in the back, which I hold. So I'm going to knit. I just kind of give a little tug to those stitches and see how long my yarn is here. You see how long that is? That's great. So we're going to knit the next stitch, and then we're going to slip one with the yarn in the front, bring the yarn to the back, and knit one. And we're going to slip the next one, and knit, and slip, and knit. Now we have 3 stitches left. We're going to slip both of these stitches as if to purl, and we're going to knit the next stitch. So what I do is I get my needle right into that stitch. I kind of give a little tug, loosey-goosey, wrap my yarn around, and complete the knit stitch. And now the next row, which if you're following along on the pattern is row 4, we're going to knit one. This is actually a 4-row pattern repeat. We're going to bring the yarn to the front, slip these 2 stitches, and once again I want you to do the same thing. So we're going to purl the next 7 stitches. So get your needle ready in the purl position. Pull your stitches back a little bit. Wrap the yarn around and purl. And now we're going to purl 6 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and once again we're at the 2 slip stitches. So I'm going to put my needle, silly me, I'm going to slip these 2 stitches, get my needle ready to purl. Now this is going to be a little wonky because you just added this. So you want to just kind of hold on to here just to give your bearings. Pull this back a little bit and purl the stitch. Yippee! See? There we have 2 pretty rows using our Funky Fancy yarn. And just to complete, I know this is getting a little bit long, but just to show the full 4 rows of the weaving pattern, we're going to bring our color A and we're going to knit 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, and knit the last 3. And what that does when you're slipping those 2 stitches at the beginning and the end, and when you're doing the actual thing, so it actually gives you, let me lay this down, maybe it's easier to see. This is a sparkly sparkler. So what you see is you get this column here. You see, when you're slipping them, you're not going to see this sparkly yarn, you see? And so that's how you see the woven blocks. Cool, right? All right, so the final row 4, I believe. Let's see. Actually, it's row 6 on the pattern. We are going to purl all the way across. So we purl all the way across. Once again with this, we're only using the yarn every 2 rows. So it's very easy to keep track. You're always going to knit 1 row and then do something on the back. So we're going to purl all the way across, and then we're going to pick up our blue yarn, our sparkly fancy yarn. We're going to do it again, and then we have a couple rows in between of simple stockinette knits and purls. I hope you enjoy making this. This was my 9-year-old daughter's favorite one, so she wants one. So you might see her sporting around New Jersey with hers on her iPad. Have a great day. Thanks.